what are some of the most common excuses that you see for not working out, that you've heard?
Well, the big one is time, which I don't buy. A lot of people waste a lot of time. They don't. Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily know that they're wasting time, but they are.
Hmm.
But obviously, people say, I don't have time. What I find is that people make time for the things that they really want to do or the things that they prioritize. And a lot of times, people are unwittingly prioritizing the wrong things in their lives. So, time is a big one.
This is Scott Fain with TeamWoods podcast, and I'm here today with two wonderful gentlemen that I love talking to. One is fitness ambassador for Bounce Pep, Mark Johnson. How you doing today, Mark?
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. And my other friend is Johnny D from YO, my fitness instructor when I come to Youngstown. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing good. I'm waiting for you to get here.
Hey, that's right. All right. Well, that's going to be a couple days, and I'll be right down there. But reason we wanted to put this podcast together is talking about motivation and getting back into the workout and just trying to get some things to stay motivated, and talking to each other about our exercise and stuff. So getting right into it, I want to talk like what motivates you to work out. Now, for me, when it comes to working out, it's kind of self-preservation. Like if I don't work out, like if I stop working out, like back at the beginning of the pandemic, I wasn't doing anything. And so for that few weeks, I felt like an old man. Every time I walk up the stairs, my arms and legs are just creaking and just I was falling apart until I started exercising and doing some stuff together. So self-preservation, that's what makes me work out. What about you, Mark? What makes you work out? What's your motivation?
It's something similar. I was, looking around and I saw people who were around my age, in their 40s, maybe early 50s or so. And they were already, I like to say creaky. So creaky and rickety. And, I just said, I don't want that to be me. And there was nothing physically wrong with me or anything. So I just said, okay, I want to keep it that way. And I want to try to get actually stronger. But it was just looking around and seeing other people who were getting a little bit too old too quickly.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Johnny?
It was pretty much the same. It's just it came from like I was working out inconsistently before the pandemic started, but then the pandemic started and one sly comment from my sister saying I got my father's pot belly and I had to just nip that in the bud, start working out 3 days a week. And I'm still working on it, but I ain't got the pot belly anymore.
All right, hey, you got to start somewhere, but sometimes
Hey
it all.
man, say thank you to your sister. Yeah, she woke you up.
Yeah.
So, how do you stay motivated, Johnny D from YO? How do you stay motivated?
Um, just pretty much setting a goal of where I want to be. Like I'm stronger than I've ever been right now, but back in high school, I was still in better shape, like aesthetically. So I kind of wanted to get back at least some semblance of that back, like especially I had a six pack back then, so I kind of want to get unbury that, you know.
Unbury it. I like that. What about you, Mark? How you staying motivated these days?
Well, like I always say, I don't see myself as being out of shape, so I don't really have to keep myself motivated. It's just, but yeah, motivation doesn't really come into play. I'm just committed. Now there are times when I feel motivated, but I don't rely on any kind of motivation. So no matter what my mood is or whatever's going on, I'm going to keep myself in shape. Now, the best kind of motivation to have is anticipation. So if you're anticipating, of course, that means you're excited to get in the gym and work out.
Mhm.
But you're not always excited. So in those cases, you have to rely on commitment, and that's basically what I rely on.
Yeah, I always admired your self-discipline. Um, so what are some of your favorite exercises, Mark, to do?
Well, there are a lot of muscle groups But I will say that one that I like a lot is the incline bench press. I do that quite a bit. Um, and then I also like to work on my arms because my arms are pretty small. So I put some extra effort into my arms. They don't get any bigger, but I try. So I, do a lot of skull crushers and um, I do some cross hammer curls like this, so that I can hit the brachialis a bit. Uh, People tend to do the biceps curls just kind of normally like this, which is fine, but a lot of people ignore that brachialis muscle. So I try to get that a little bit more by crossing like this.
Hmm, okay, okay. What about you, Johnny?
It's kind of similar to him. It's just I'm my favorite is more of the flat, just bench press rather than the incline. Because again, I also got some small arms. I'm trying to get those back up. So, but yeah, I definitely have to say the bench press is definitely my favorite exercise.
Hmm, okay. Well, if I had to answer the question for myself, it's a toss up. It's not the regular type of exercises where you guys are talking about, but I like to do the climb, the incline, the climb bike when I get on the Peloton. I do the climb ride. So because I that's where I want to keep being able to keep my breath when I'm running, and I love the cardio to kind of that keeps me feeling younger than what I mean, being able to walk without huffing and puffing and whatnot. So that's my favorite. Uh,
Yeah.
what I want to do is zero a little bit in with you for a second, Mark. One of the things that, like I said, I admire your self-discipline. I was actually telling Matthew that we were in a singing group, Johnny D, back in high school. And that was the path we were on for a little while. And I was like, if you hadn't moved to Japan, we'd probably be like Jodeci right now. Because that was you were the one that was driving us like Otis Williams. But then you moved and we just moved on to different things. But I think about that sometimes. And to what do you attribute your structured approach to working out?
Um, that's a good question. A structured approach. Well, first of all, I just watched a lot of content on YouTube, so I would look at a lot of people. Like I would watch people like Simeon Banda. Um, Another guy I watched is CT Fletcher. And he's a character. If you ever
Go
seen
out,
CT
yes.
Fletcher, he's
Girl.
Jeff Cavalier. I've watched some of him. Those are just a few names. Ulysses Jr. Just a few names, but I would just watch those guys and their bodybuilding. I'm not a bodybuilder, obviously, but you can just learn a lot about exercising. And one of the things that they mentioned was to just write down what you're doing. And so early on, I started writing, basically keeping a log of what I was doing at each workout, and that just allows me to track my progress, so that I can look back over time and see what I've done and where I've come, and if I'm hitting any personal bests, I can kind of see that on paper. So um, that's a big part of it, quite frankly, is just logging everything, and then it also allows you to keep up with how often you're going to the gym because you have a record, on paper that you can look at.
Okay, definitely the organization skills come into play. What are some of the most common excuses that you see for not working out, that you've heard?
Well, the big one is time, which I don't buy. A lot of people waste a lot of time. They don't. Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily know that they're wasting time, but they are.
Hmm.
But obviously, people say, I don't have time. What I find is that people make time for the things that they really want to do or the things that they prioritize. And a lot of times, people are unwittingly prioritizing the wrong things in their lives. So, time is a big one. Money is a little less of a big one, but you do hear that sometimes. Sometimes people don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's they don't have the money, but they don't necessarily want to, invest the money in that. Um, because there is typically some investment in money, but I would say those two are the biggest.
Okay, all right. And as an up and coming fitness trainer or fitness ambassador like yourself, what advice would you give to a workout professional like Mr. Johnny D from YO here?
Um, well, okay, first of all, commitment. So I already mentioned that. Uh, the motivation is great. It is great. I'm not. Um, I don't want to cast any aspersions on motivation, but I think ultimately you have to be committed. That has to be the basis because you will not always have the highest motivation. So that's the first thing is just commit. And then the second thing is always be learning new things. I see people who go into the gym. You see this all you've been in the gym and you see people the same people there and they're always doing the same exercises.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, they never change anything about what they're doing. And I think that you have to, mix it up a bit, find new exercises to do, make sure that you trick your muscles so that they don't get, your muscles will get acclimated to what you're doing and then they'll really stop developing
Mm-hmm.
because you're not really forcing any kind of new growth or anything. So you want to make sure that you keep mixing it up and keep learning new things that you can try out.
Okay. Good advice. Johnny D from YO. I wanted to get in touch with a little bit with you. When did you start working out with Matthew?
Hmm. I know it was. I know it was the beginning of the pandemic. Oh no, we started late February, right before the pandemic. That's when we started, and then we really got like really committed to it. Like we got the 3 day a week thing, like in the middle of the pandemic, and then we just kept working out since then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's been a little bit of time. It seems like the pandemic's been going on forever. Um, how would you describe his training style?
Um, Completely different to what I was doing in high school. Because what I was doing in high school, I was doing that for 4 years. It got me in shape, but it didn't really increase my strength all that much.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like after a year of training with Matt, I actually gotten stronger than what I was in high school. So I'm like, okay, it's different. Like he had me, for instance, doing this rotating curls, alternating rotating curls. Never did that before, and killed my arms the first day on just that. So yeah, I would say it's different, intense, but it's also really helpful.
You know something? Just in terms of style, one of the things that I think his workouts remind me of is remember Rocky 3 and
Mm.
Rocky 4? That when they went away from the big training gyms and stuff like that, and they were down there, and especially in 4, that's the one that I associated with the most. Chopping wood and just like getting a real good workout where not on the $1,500 machine, but just shoot. I think we have video of you, Johnny D, doing curls with like paint buckets. Just like no excuse, finding ways to work out with whatever you have. So I would give it that too if I had to name a style. Clubber Lang all day long. Clubber Lang workout. um, Give me some examples of some of the workouts that you guys do that's the most popular, the ones that you do right now.
Um, Most popular would have to be I three only three come to mind. One, which I already said, was the rotated curls. Two, we would actually like just jog all through downtown, like starting at Wick Park, jog through the YSU campus, jog through downtown, all the way to the trade tracks, and then come on back. And finally would be definitely the chopping wood.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like there's a video of me like just having a heck of a time chopping down this log, and I'm literally repeating, "You're not beating me," because this log has been standing at that tree for quite a while, and I've been spending a lot of time trying to chop it down. And on that day, it did not beat me.
All right. Yeah. Commitment. Yes, once again. Um, what about tell me a little bit about some of the mental and physical gains that you've had over the years, just since you've been working out.
Well, obviously, the workouts with Matt has made me stronger, like I've said before, than I ever been with high school. Not just physically, but also mentally, because even in high school, like sure, like my friends would be in the gym, my football buddies, basketball buddies, even track guys were training with me in the gym, but I didn't necessarily feel like mentally motivated in that gym. Like it was almost like a kind of like a chore that I really didn't want to do. But working out with Matt, it's a little excitement because I never know like exactly what I'm gonna do until I'm there. So I'm just like my body's kind of got built-in anticipations. Like, all right, so when's he gonna kill us in today? So, but yeah, I would definitely say like more excitement on the mental side and gotten me more strength physically.
Okay, okay. And then my last question to you, Johnny D, is will you be chopping any wood anytime soon in the near future?
If weather permits it, I mean it's March, but yesterday we got some leftover snow that we were supposed to get the past 3 months. So I'm hoping, should the weather permit it, you shall see me chop some more wood.
Okay. All right. Mark, did you have anything to add to that? To anything that you heard to provide any more insight for Johnny D?
Well, it sounds like he's on the right track, so um, he should just keep on, Johnny, just keep on doing what you're doing. Um, what I will say is that the mindset, I think, is the most important thing. Typically, when you're working out, um, you alluded to it a bit when you said that you would go to work out, but you didn't really want to be there. So the mindset is really key when it comes to working out. Your mind really controls how your workout goes. And for example, you know how you can be working out and you feel like you want to stop. Well, guess what? That's not really your muscles may be, of course, physically fatigued, but what's telling you that it's time to stop is really your mind. And so if you can get your mind under control, then a lot of times you can go for 5 or 10 minutes longer, or you can do an extra set or something like that. It's your mind that's telling you to quit, not your muscles. So I would definitely like to just piggyback on what you mentioned about the mind, because when you control your mind, then you can control how well your workout goes.
Into that. Um, During this next segment, Johnny D, you have a few questions to ask me. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This is questions basically coming into town and we're going to spend some time. Johnny D is a uh he's a fitness trainer in training. I should have said that. So um go ahead and ask your questions. I'm sorry.
You're right. All right. So, what kind of exercise program are you on right now?
Right now I do mostly cardio. I haven't been doing much with weights. So the thing I do boxing. Like I get up 2 to 3 days a week and do some boxing, and that gives me some really good cardio. And then I get on the Peloton for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes every morning. Well, not every morning, three days out of the week. And like I said, mostly it's been to keep me from my arthritis from acting up. Be honest with you, you know. I to you know what? I'm gonna keep it to answer your question. That's what I'm doing right now. Just keep going. Go ahead.
Well, I was about to ask, how's that working out for you? You kind of explaining that too.
Yeah, it's working out okay. Like I said, I guess I didn't have much of a high aspiration other than to just be feeling good, you know. I would like to get rid of a little bit of the gut that I have right now, but it's always been not too hard for me because I try to little self-control. You know, a lot of times my stuff comes down to diet. So I just avoid the stuff that's bad for me, try and make more food that's good for me and keep up what I'm doing. And I lose the weight, automatically or naturally, occasionally jump on that pilot's diet for 10 days where you're cutting out all sugar and all the stuff. And then that trims you down a little bit. So that's what I've been doing. And so far, it's been working out good. I mean, I'm not complaining too much, and I can still move around comfortably.
All right. Also, what's your top 3 fitness goals right
Top three, like to tone down the belly. I wouldn't mind getting back into getting the doing the weights, because I have felt a little bit weak when it comes to, like when you every now and again, if you're a man, you have to do something physical somewhere. Hey, can you push this? Hey, can you get out and help me push this car? Or things like that. I can still do it. There's a baseline of fitness that I have, but I haven't pushed myself past that baseline in a long while. So just kind of getting a little bit more into that. If I have to be honest, Kim does more free weights than I do right now. She's up every morning, got the dumbbells. I got them for me, but she's, got the
now?
little weight bench and does her thing. So she's probably got more strength in some parts of her arm and whatnot than I do right now, even though I still, I got that was a big thing for me for a long time, not having like muscles that I could pose in the mirror. And once I got them, I kept them. But some of them are weak. They need a little bit more oomph. That's one. Was it the stomach? A little bit fitness, and just to maintain what I'm doing. Those are the 3 things: stomach, weights, and maintain.
All right. So with the first fitness goal, I'm also assuming that's the body part you want to improve on the most. If not, then what is?
What's the body part I want to improve on the most? My stomach. Yeah, just trimming down, slimming up. I don't think I've ever had really a 6-pack. Not that I'm necessarily going for that. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, oh, I got to get a 6-pack. But if I can trim down the fat that I have, it's gonna come out naturally anyway.
Right.
So that's where my chest area, I like to make that look good.
All right. And finally, what's your least favorite thing about working out?
Honestly, working out. Yeah, I don't really like working out. I just like I have to make myself do it every time. Um, especially if I can get up, like wake up and just okay, get up, work out. Don't think about nothing. I don't watch anything. Don't look at anything. I just get up, get my stuff on, go in there and start doing it. Otherwise, I will come up with a whole bunch of reasons why not to do it. Oh, I don't feel like. I try and take that. I don't feel like it out of my vocabulary when it comes to certain things because I can be very permissive with myself if I'm not careful, and then I wind up walking around here like an old man. I can't do that. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I need to hear.
Okay.
And that's all the answers I needed. Sorry.
Well, that's about the end of our podcast here. I don't have much more other than just to say I'm looking forward to doing some working out with you, Johnny D, when we get to town. And I appreciate very much, Mark. You always have some wise wisdom to give and provide. So, would you like to just close out and give us your last thoughts, starting with Johnny D? Why don't you start off and give me your last thoughts? And if you have a website or something you want to plug, please go ahead and do that.
Well, my thoughts are would be like just like to go off of what you said about like there's days you wake it up and you don't like working out, you don't want to do it, but have to force yourself to do it. I've had those days also, and what I mainly do, it hasn't become routine for me, but it's all the times I did is actually work. I would just at the start of the day when I'm going to the bathroom, brushing my teeth, I look because I normally like sleep my shirt off. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm thinking, and I look at myself as more of like a house that see if there's any like kicks you need to work out, anything that needs maintenance. I'm like, okay, that needs to be done. That needs to be done, and then just go with that mindset to all right, I need to do this, need to do that for the workout. Then let's get into it. But
Okay.
that's about it on that for me.
All right. Anything to plug?
Not at this moment, no.
Okay. Mark, Fitness Ambassador Johnson, please share your wisdom before we close out, and your plugs as well, please.
Hey, well, first thing, I just want to encourage everyone to keep doing what you're doing. Sounds like you're doing the right things. You're on the right track. Again, just mix it up a bit. Try to keep learning things. Try to keep making sure that you take it to another level. Always try to go to another level. That brings me to the plug. So I'm going to be releasing a book very, very soon. I'm just having the kind of finishing touches put on it. And this is going to be available on my website, which is bouncepep.com. And the book is called Be the Total Package. It's 8 maxims for achievers who want to get fit. So I'm going to make that available to all of you achievers out there who want to get yourself in better shape and just need to know how to get started, maybe get some ideas to help you get on the right path. But finally, I just want to say that if you have any doubts about whether you can do it, don't worry, you can do it. The most important thing is to get started. A lot of people, where they go wrong is they never get started. So if you're already doing it, keep doing it. If you're not doing it yet, just do something. Just take a step. Just get started.
Amen to that. That's been the biggest thing for me in my life. It's like I look up sometimes, it's like, wow, how did I do that? Because you started. You just, you know what I mean? Like day by day, I put art and stuff on the walls in my office because when I came in here, before I really started getting into my artwork, that's what I did. I envisioned it, and then you just get started. So yeah, amen to that, man. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your time this morning and this evening for our different time zones. So until next time, we're going to keep it working out and keep it moving. Thank you again for joining me. Take care.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Grab 2 of them. Like I say, these things probably got to weigh about 30 pounds each, I would imagine. Yeah, you're going to hit that curl. And so they're oblong, so this is like a curl like no other curl exercise because it's steady wobbling. So you're steady getting that resistance happening.